The PlayStation Plus games for the month of April have been revealed, the free game offerings that is, and I imagine a lot of you guys are gonna be a little bit disappointed. Of course, now that we're not getting PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games, the expectation is that the quality of games should increase. In this case, what I imagine is that the majority of casual gamers are gonna be disappointed. However, the games themselves, the offerings are pretty good. You've got The Surge, you've got Conan Exiles. Could they be a little bit better? Sure, they always can be, but I also do think there's a lot of quality in these games, and I do want to take you guys through those titles and what to expect. On top of that, we got some other news I want to go through quickly. PlayStation VR's install base soars past 4.2 million units worldwide, which is a pretty good number. However, it also begs the question, why did Sony use State of Play so much to highlight PSVR? Cool to see that they're still committed and it is growing, however. And here's a very interesting developer. Remedy's Control has PlayStation 4 exclusive content. Why that's so interesting is because Remedy was actually doing Xbox exclusives for a while, and now they've turned the other way and are offering PlayStation 4 exclusive content, so we'll go over that in a little bit. First up, what you guys are interested in, the PlayStation Plus free game offerings for the month of April. As I mentioned, we have The Surge, we have Conan Exiles, so let's talk The Surge first. The Surge comes from the guys over at Deck 13, and if you're unfamiliar with them, they've also done Lords of the Fallen, and The Surge really builds upon what they did with Lords of the Fallen to, once again, a very Soul-style game. However, I feel like The Surge is a much more compelling experience compared to Lords of the Fallen. Lords of the Fallen was good, but it definitely had its issues. I feel like Surge refines a lot of that, and it does have a great setting. It's a challenging RPG in the style of a Souls games. The gameplay involves you using an exoskeleton to battle enemies, so you've got a cool nuance there already. That exoskeleton, of course, throughout the game can be customized through the game using modular upgrades, and there's a lot of variety in how you take your character and which upgrades you choose. From a reception standpoint, the game was received pretty well, and if you're into Souls-style games, you're gonna enjoy it. However, at this point, if you're into Souls games, you're probably pretty busy with Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, so I think timing-wise, I don't really know if this one makes a lot of sense. However, timing-wise, I don't know if this one really makes a lot of sense, and The Surge was a game that did get a little bit of a mixed reception. I personally thought it was a step above from Lords of the Fallen, but some people weren't as big fans of it, and the general consensus is that these games fall very short compared to the Souls games. Souls are an elite caliber of games by From Software, and when I say Souls, I mean every game by them, whether it be Souls, Bloodborne, and now Sekiro. If you compare Lords of the Fallen and The Surge to those games, yes, these games also have their own nuance and own intricacies. However, you're just gonna naturally compare these games to those games, and these games do fall a little bit short. But The Surge is a game that's held up in value a little bit, and as a PlayStation Plus offering, I don't think it's all too bad. However, as the highlight game for Plus, I do see some people being a little bit disappointed. The other game, a pretty interesting title, is the survival title in Conan Exiles. This game released on PC a while ago, back in May of 2018, and I believe before that it was in early access for a while. Came to the PlayStation 4, and now it's available as a PlayStation Plus title. Now, initially, Conan Exiles was actually received pretty poorly, but more recently, through updates and various DLC, the game has gotten better and better. Now, a lot of that DLC is paid DLC, so that is something to note, and it does seem like at this point, survival games are on more of a downside. However, Conan Exiles is an online multiplayer survival game set in the lands of Conan the Barbarian. You're gonna enter a vast open world sandbox and play together with friends and strangers as you build your own home or even a shared city. Survive freezing cold temperatures, explore loot-filled dungeons, develop your character from a lowly peasant to a mighty barbarian, and fight to dominate your enemies in an epic siege war. Conan Exiles can be played in a variety of different ways. You can be played in full single-player, co-op, or persistent online multiplayer, so that's pretty interesting. You can really tailor the experience however you want to. And the game itself is centered around after Conan himself saves your life by cutting you down from the corpse tree, you must quickly learn to survive weather-scouring sandstorms, shield yourself from intense temperatures, and hunt animals for foods and resources. Explore a vast and seamless world from the burning desert in the south to the snow-capped mountains of the north. Forge the legacy of your clan as you fight to reclaim and dominate the exiled lands. Use the powerful building system to create anything from a small home to an entire city's piece by piece. Wage war using swords, bows, siege weapons, and even take control of giant avatars of the gods to crush the homes of your enemies in epic battle. Visually, the game is quite good. It's got a 68 on Metacritic, but again, this is a game that's become better and better over time, and that's even indicative of the Steam reviews. If you look at the all-time Steam reviews, it's 69% positive with 23,000 reviews, but the recent reviews that were made as the game has been updated is actually 82% positive, and that's based on 788 reviews, and that's usually an indicator of a game getting better over time, and that's what we've really seen with Conan Exiles. Again, I don't think this is going to be a game that's tailored for everyone, again, that's the issue I think with April's Plus offerings, is that The Surge is that action-oriented game that, yeah, if you're a fan of the Soul-style games, you're gonna like it. However, if you're a fan of the Soul-style games, you're probably busy with Sekiro. And Conan Exiles for a console consumer, I just don't know if this is the type of game they're gonna get super invested into. Personally speaking, because I do play a wide array of games and I really try out every genre and whatnot, I think this month is pretty good, but I think a lot of casual consumers will see this month as a disappointment. I think if you try these games out, however, if you invest some time into it, you'll have some fun with them and you will enjoy them. And considering that Conan Exiles is a game that goes for $40 and The Surge, even on sale, I believe goes for $12 to $15, value-wise, this is a really good month if you assess it that way. But I know at the end of the day, some of you guys just expect the world, whether it be you expect Red Dead Redemption 2 as a plus game, whether you expect Spider-Man as a plus game. Sometimes with some of you, it's never winning you guys over, and yes, while I don't think this month is a home run, in the same token, I don't think it's all too bad, and I do see some negativity going around. But that's my spiel on that. I think a pretty good month, and again, if you're doing what I say and you're paying around $4 a month for PlayStation Plus, can you really be mad with getting The Surge and Conan Exiles for $4 a month? I think that's pretty good. Moving on from that, I want to quickly cover a couple of other topics. PlayStation VR's install base has soared past 4.2 million units worldwide, so that's really good. Good to see that PSVR has been resonating to some extent. It's the most accessible form of VR out there right now that still offers compelling experiences. The issue is with this 4.2 million install base, I really question why Sony used their debut episode of State of Play to center it mostly around PlayStation VR, or at least a lot of it. A lot of the exciting announcements that had me really interested were surrounding PlayStation VR, but that was for a smaller subsect of the PlayStation community. I've already kind of given my spiel on that, but it's still good to see that PlayStation VR is doing really well, and considering in the past we've seen Sony release so many platforms, whether it be PlayStation Move, PlayStation Vita, and they've just lost interest in them rather quickly when the initial numbers weren't all too good. It's great to see that they've stayed committed to PlayStation VR and they continue to create really solid offerings in terms of games, and the price is coming down and it's becoming more and more accessible to more people. You see the great PlayStation VR bundles and they're available for like $250. That is incredible considering that I bought my bundle on launch and it was like $500 and it was insanely priced, and now you can get the headset, I believe you can get the camera, Move controllers, you can get like a copy of Borderlands 2, and hey, even if you were disappointed by State of Play like I was, we do now know that there is a lot of compelling PlayStation VR content coming. And the announcement that had me the most excited was actually the fact that PlayStation VR support is coming to No Man's Sky. That is a game that I think will work so well with VR. And not only is it going to enhance No Man's Sky, but man, it makes PlayStation VR more attractive as well, because I think a lot of you guys want to try out NMS in VR, and that's what we're going to be able to do this summer with the Beyond update. So PlayStation VR is still trucking along, and it has passed 4.2 million units sold worldwide. And lastly, I do want to give you guys a heads up about Control, Remedy Entertainment's new game. And Remedy Entertainment was a studio for a long time that was more so associated with Xbox. They worked on games like Alan Wake and Quantum Break, but their next game in Control will be coming to the PlayStation 4. And not only that, the developer Remedy announced that it'll have PlayStation 4 exclusive content. At launch, all copies of the release will include the Astral Dive Suit costume, a rare player mod, a rare service weapon mod, and 2 PlayStation 4 themes. These extra items will be exclusive to the PlayStation 4 version of the game, so that's pretty surprising, again, because Remedy has had this partnership with Microsoft. Now, this isn't a complete novelty. We've seen situations like this in the past. Activision with Call of Duty used to have a partnership with Xbox, then they moved on over to PlayStation. You saw what happened with Bungie's Destiny, but still, it's a pretty interesting note, and Control is a game that's been going really under the radar. However, it does look like an interesting game, seems to borrow a lot of the mechanics from Quantum Break, and interestingly enough, this is a point that's not being brought up. I do believe it'll be released on August 27th, and that's actually the day that Shenmue 3 will also be released, so that's shaping up to be a pretty big day for game releases, and that's really going to kick off the busy fall season, but it's really kicking off at the end of August. Usually it's that early September period where you see the big games released, but no, end of August we'll be getting Control and we'll be getting Shenmue 3. That's pretty major. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, the PlayStation Plus free game offerings for the month of April include The Surge and Conan Exiles. I think it's a pretty good month, but I'm really interested in hearing what you guys think. It does seem like there's some conflicting opinions, so sound off below. PlayStation VR's install base has gone past 4.2 million, and Quantum Break developer Remedy's Control has PlayStation 4 exclusive content. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.